So I'm back pretty quickly. Updating my ranks. I have to look at my team, see where my gaps are. Pretty even between wide receiver and running back. I'm actually going to switch this back. Actually, I'm going to put it at 0.9. Just to give a little bit of favor to running backs, just because there's such a run on running backs, it seems. But I'm okay with having a big advantage in other positions. So we'll see who falls to me. There's going to be a run on wide receivers, most likely, given that most of these people couldn't have taken my draft picks. Yeah. So let's see. We're just taking Wes Welker. So I am in an even round, so it's time to take Gronk. Look at Gronk's ADP. It's right around here. I'm gonna go for it. Actually, I haven't seen the latest news on him. Yeah, nothing new. So Gronk is a tough one. I'm gonna have to draft a second tight end. My guess is someone with some upside like Antonio Gates. But we'll see. I'm gonna wait very late for that. And if at the end of this I end up with a very high ranking down here, right now I'm ranked 2, but I have my quarterback, so it kind of skews it a little bit. Quarterbacks usually skew these rankings. If I have the number 1 team down here, it's going to be really scary because the positions I have, like a Drew Brees, Calvin Johnson, they're not up in the air. And if it's using Rob Gronkowski, the number for Gronk is sort of an average. But at the end of the day, towards the end of the year, it's going to be skewed because he's going to be back. He's going to be healthy. Well, that's an aggressive statement, but ideally, that's when he'll be back and that's when he'll be healthy. So I come out on top on this, and that really just proves this drafting really works. So I'm okay being close towards the tail end of the pack, or at least not at the very, very top, given the positions I've chosen, they're locks. So I have a ton of upside with Monte Ball. Whatever wide receiver I have next, I'm going to skew it towards running back. So you can also do 1.1 and say, hey, I want to increase the value of those guys. Oh, yeah. And I have a tight end, so you want 2.1. Oh, Hakeem next. So this is getting very interesting. And one of the other things I'm going to do, Matthew Stafford got taken off the board because he's a great value in these drafts. One of my posts will be the best values, and that's another thing you have to keep in mind when you're drafting. You don't want to be a slave to the spreadsheet. If you know that you can get Matthew Stafford in a round, I was actually round 5 or around 9, then you can go ahead and forego a pick like Drew Brees early. So a lot of this stuff is not going to be perfect, and that will mean like, hey, I need Drew Brees to fall to me in a much, much later round. Like it needs to be. That's what this is good for. This stuff over here. Like I need there to be a huge difference in order to take a quarterback because I have, the target of Matthew Stafford or whatever it is, and that could be for other positions too. Like if you love Monte Ball, you can say, hey, he's a huge steal and he's really a running back number 1. And that's a huge advantage. Cool. I need to stop showing tight ends. So I'm gonna say no up here. So awesome. Says Akeem next. It's actually not that close. So I'm gonna go ahead and take Akeem next. All these people are waiting. And if he's healthy, I have a pretty big advantage. Yeah, the other thing is a lot of these players are very similar. They all have a pretty good amount of upside. I'm also excited to pick Ronnie Hillman to back up my Monte Ball because that will it's not really a true handcuff, but in a lot of ways, oh my god, it protects me from some downside risk. So if they give me a true split, then yes, I am screwed. Um, Russell. And I wouldn't focus too much all the time on making sure these positions are exact. I mean, the point is to make them exact. That way you know where you rank. Sometimes it's better to make sure you're picking your right player than to make sure where you fall in the draft. Just figure it out later. With stupid picks like Rashard Mendenhall at 61, I think I'm fine. Wow, Eddie Lacy's still here. That's crazy. Okay, so this is going to drop way down. Have two wide receivers. People are really waiting on wide receivers. That's interesting. We'll see if it's universal. By allowing you to input your own draft order. I play in a lot of random leagues like PPR, and particularly two quarterback league. And doing that will allow you to account for them. So I can update the draft to show that quarterbacks get taken a lot quicker. And because of that, I can do the draft positions reflect as such. And it will show the drop off that is coming because of those quarterbacks being taken. And the fact is, you can change the starting lineups here, so it will really alter your rankings. Whoa, that was close. I'm going with all rookie team. I like this though. I get Bradshaw. A lot of these people have. So one of the things, what the fuck is going on with this? One of the things I like is a lot of Bradshaw's already hurt. I haven't really seen it. Oh, Bradshaw's gonna have a hurt foot every time, but that does mean I may be able to wait on him. So look for Shane Vereen. And on times like this, I essentially have, look at my team, I have a bunch of players locked in. Calvin Johnson, Hakeem Nicks. Like, the whole point when you're drafting is it's almost like an option strategy. You want essentially to lock in a return and then have as much upside as possible. So with Gronk, with Breeze, with Calvin Johnson, and to some extent with Hakeem Nicks, like I'll need a backup. But as long as he's healthy, I'm starting him. I know what I have. So at this point, I just want to stockpile a platoon of running backs with tremendous upside. And if one of them is good enough to be a number one running back, I'm pretty sure one of them is going to be good enough to be a number two running back. And I really have a good chance of dominating this league. And it's the thinking like that that will get you to win your league. You don't want to get a bunch of mediocre players where you all know who they are. Like Matt Forte, and to some extent, some of the quarterbacks. You don't want those middling guys because you're just going to get a middling team, and there's no advantage to finishing in seventh. I'd rather finish in 12th or first because that's all that matters is whether you're getting paid. So with that, I'm way behind where I should be. So, and right after I update this, I'm going to take a look at where I rank because this is late enough where teams are starting to form. So because teams are starting to form and they have most of those players, you should have a pretty good idea of where you shake out. And it can potentially alter your drafting style. One thing this is one of the worst things I've ever seen. So I'm just going to make sure just that quick as update. I love the autofill feature. Thank you to, I forget who recommended that, but it's in my YouTube comments. Thank you for recommending that. I forgot how to do it, but it's been a huge, huge help. Tavon Austin, Shane Vereen, awesome. And drafting is the other advantage. You have this and you know who you're drafting, being able to rapid fire them out like that really can throw your opponents off. Someone's thinking they have an extra minute and a half to make a decision, and they don't. This is why they make a terrible pick like Kyle Rudolph at 80. So this is another thing that's interesting. So one of the things I love is like Andrew Luck is available this late in the draft. I mean, that's a steal. At some point, I'm going to change this back to a 0.4 because you don't want, and then I'm going to show quarterback because it could be a quarterback that says it's the best. See, Andrew Luck is the best pick right here. It's not by much, so granted, that's fine. But a lot of people are going to be waiting because if they figure, hey, 10 quarterbacks have been drafted, I can just wait. Not so fast. I'm going to snatch him if the difference used to be out of whack. The reason I can do that is because I have a good idea of what's on my team and what I can hold. And we're going to one lottery ticket to make sure a team that is essentially going to be stacked doesn't have a viable quarterback option week in and week out is a pretty good trade-off sometimes. And granted, it's a judgment call sometimes. But depending on the type of league you're in, it can be important. Ooh, Ronnie Hillman. And I'm getting a little earlier. Jeez, I don't know if I'm getting this early. 127. So even picking in the next round will still be early. Also, Fred Jackson. This is a tough one. I also have 3 running backs, so I'll switch this back to 1. The pick is Miles Austin. I'm going to go Miles Austin and then hopefully Ronnie Hillman or Monte Ball going forward. So feel really good. That locks in my wide receivers. I essentially don't need to pick another wide receiver between the two of them. Anyone I pick at this point is going to be extremely, I don't know if the term is extra, but it's really unnecessary. It's redundant, I guess would be the best term. So, 86. Ooh. So that's not too late for Andrew Luck. That is one thing I have to fix. I have not perfectly accounted for defenses because you just shouldn't draft defenses. There's a lot of randomness to it, particularly when they score. I mean, one touchdown for defense is like a huge, huge deal. Oh, Bryce Brown here? I'm spelling his name wrong. Darla. There we go. Start towards the end. There's a lot of people on auto draft. I have to do my best to keep up with them. I apologize for the video going so long. I need to pause it. I'm probably going to fuck. I'm gonna take it. But the other thing, these positions are moving. Ronnie Hillman being in starting camp. I don't know when he's actually going to get drafted. Well, I think he's probably getting drafted, so I probably should have done something about it. But still not a terrible decision. Now I have Fred Jackson. I'll draft him. Cool. We'll stop it here. And probably catch up with you in about a few rounds. You can see how my team's shaking out. Hopefully the lottery card running back picks is going to be tough to keep up to because you see there's all these people on auto draft. So wish me luck.